Apple has officially discontinued the Mac Pro. It's gone from the website, the buy page redirects elsewhere, and Apple's even confirmed they have no plans for any future Mac Pro hardware. Not maybe later or we'll revisit it, just done. And before we get into what this actually means, quick favor, if you want the latest Apple news straight to your feeds, hit subscribe and tap the hype button. Now let's talk about why this is such a big deal, because the Mac Pro wasn't just any other Mac, this was the ultimate Mac. The one you bought if you're doing serious work on your computer. Video editors, 3D artists, developers, people rendering things that would make your average laptop cry, this was your machine. And if you wind back, the Mac Pro has had a bit of a chaotic history. You have the classic tower design that everyone loved for its modularity. Then in 2013, Apple decided to get a bit experimental with a cylindrical design, which looks cool but wasn't exactly practical for upgrades. Then in 2019, Apple went back to basics with that cheese-grater design, which, let's be honest, looks like it belonged in a kitchen. But regardless, the 2019 Mac Pro was Apple saying, okay, we hear you, you want power and flexibility, here it is. And they delivered. It was expensive, yes, but it was built for a very specific audience that needed that level of performance and customization. Then came Apple Silicon, and this is where the story really starts to shift. In 2023, Apple refreshed the Mac Pro with the M2 Ultra, and on paper, that sounded fine, but in reality, it already kind of felt like a product that didn't know where it belonged in the range. Because at the same time, Apple was pushing something else that overlapped with it heavily, the Mac Studio. And this is where things start to make sense. The Mac Studio, especially with chips like the M3 Ultra and the soon-to-be-announced M5 Ultra, is ridiculously powerful. We're talking massive CPU and GPU core counts, huge unified memory, and performance that already satisfies the vast majority of professional workflows. So now you've got a situation where the Mac Studio is delivering insane performance in a compact form factor, while the Mac Pro is sitting there at around $7,000 with older silicon, and honestly not offering enough extra to justify its place. And that's really the key point here. The Mac Pro doesn't make sense in the Apple Silicon era. Apple Silicon is all about integration. Everything is tightly packed, highly efficient, and optimized as a complete system. The old Mac Pro philosophy was the opposite of that. It was about modularity, expansion, swapping parts in and out. Those two ideas don't really coexist well. So over time, the Mac Pro just became outdated. And if we're being honest, it's been outdated for a while now. Even when it got the M2 Ultra, it didn't feel like a leap forwards. It felt like Apple taking a box saying, okay, yeah, we updated it, let's move on. So why did it stay around for so long? Well, there's likely a behind the scenes reason this thing has stuck around longer than it should have. The Mac Pro was one of the few Macs assembled in the US, which Apple has always liked to highlight. It's good PR, it ticks certain boxes, and it gives them that assembled in the USA headline product. But now, some configurations of the Mac Mini are also being assembled in the US, so the role the Mac Pro used to fill, it's no longer unique. Which means Apple doesn't really need it for that reason anymore either. And once you remove that, there's not much left justifying its existence. Now, of course, the biggest argument people are going to bring up is expandability. PCIe slots, internal upgrades, all of that stuff the Mac Pro was known for. And yes, no modern Mac natively offers PCIe slots anymore. But here's the thing, you can still get that functionality. External expansion enclosures exist, and they basically give you the same advantage the Mac Pro used to have, just in a slightly different form factor. It's not as clean as having everything inside one machine, but it gets the job done for most workflows. So even that one major advantage the Mac Pro has kind of been worked around. There's also a bigger implication here for Apple Silicon itself. With the Mac Pro gone, it likely means we're not getting something like an Extreme chipset in the future, so something like an M5 Extreme probably isn't happening. Because realistically, where would it even go? The Mac Studio already covers the high end, and Apple clearly isn't interested in building a separate ultra niche machine just to house an even bigger chipset. And the interesting part is, they might not even need to, because Apple's now pushing this idea of linking multiple Macs together. With features in macOS Tahoe 26.2, you can now create low latency connections over Thunderbolt 5 and essentially scale performance across multiple systems. So instead of having one massive overkill Mac Pro, you could just connect multiple Mac Studios together and get similar, if not better results, depending on the workload. And if you really think about it, the writing has been on the wall for a while. Apple already started shifting away from the Pro branding. For example, the Pro Display XDR quietly disappeared and got replaced by the Studio Display XDR. The whole transition from Pro to Studio has been happening slowly, and now it's basically complete. The Mac Pro is just the last piece of that puzzle. Though I don't want to speculate, maybe we could see a MacBook Studio in the near future that replaces or exists above the MacBook Pro. We've already heard some rumors about that, so maybe that's in the pipeline. But for the time being, yes, the Mac Pro is being phased out because Studio is now the high-end brand. Now, if you look at the current Mac lineup, it actually feels very clean without the Mac Pro. You've got the iMac, the Mac Mini, the Mac Studio, and then your MacBooks covering everything else. Even new editions like the MacBook Neo make the entry point clearer. There's something for everyone without unnecessary overlap. And that's exactly why Apple made this decision. Because keeping the Mac Pro around, especially in its current state, would have just been confusing. It wasn't the best anymore, it wasn't the most practical, and it didn't align with where Apple's going. Still, that doesn't mean people won't miss it. There are professionals who genuinely relied on that machine for very specific workflows, internal expansion, custom setups, niche hardware requirements. Those users are going to feel this change the most. But for the majority of people, even many Pro users, the Mac Studio already covers what they need. And that's a reality Apple's building around. From a business perspective, this is a very Tim Cook move. Focus on the products that serve the most people, simplify the range, and remove anything that just doesn't pull its weight anymore. Still, this does feel like the end of an era. The Mac Pro represented a different version of Apple, one that catered to extreme users with extreme needs, no matter how niche. It was about going all out, even if it didn't make sense for most people. Now though, Apple's definition of Pro has changed. It's about efficiency, integration, and scaling performance in smarter ways rather than just building a bigger machine. It's about doing more with less space, less power, and less complexity. And to be fair, Apple Silicon has made that possible. The performance per watt, the thermal efficiency, the way everything works together, it's the reason a Mac Studio can replace something that used to require a massive tower. But there is a trade-off here, of course. You lose that sense of modularity, that ability to open up your system, upgrade parts, and customize everything internally. With modern Macs, what you buy is pretty much what you're locked into. Some people are going to prefer that simplicity, others will definitely miss the flexibility. Looking ahead, it's very clear what Apple's strategy is. The Mac Studio is now the top-tier desktop Mac. That's where the newest chipsets will go, that's where the innovation will happen, and that's what Apple wants professionals to buy. And now we're officially in a new era of Macs. But before you go, if you want to stay ahead of everything Apple's doing next, make sure you hit subscribe and tap the hype button. It seriously helps the channel grow, and I've got plenty more coming on upcoming Macs, iPhones, and everything in between. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.